Thank you. I wrote my testimony prior to what I thought I heard Representative Agello say, that she was willing to, and maybe I misunderstood her, to use the upheld language for the partial birth abortion language and substitute for what's there now. Maybe I misunderstood it, but I wrote it before that. The proposed Reproductive Healthcare Act would not itself preempt pro-life legislation should Roe versus Wade be overturned. If passed, it could be amended if it were to conflict with a pro-life proposal. It strikes the spousal notification, insurance optional rider, and partial birth abortion language that had been nullified by the court years ago. Now, this could be seen as simple administrative housekeeping, but the downside of it is that you could lose an easy way to consult the legislative history of the issue. For example, if you read the language of the pre-Roe state law, you will find that the woman was specifically exempted from punishment. A little known fact. A surface reading of the bill might lead one to think that the bill would protect viable babies with the ability to survive independently of the mother. The first thing to note is that the notion of viability is completely morally irrelevant to the question of whether the preborn individual is a human being or not, or whether the question of whether the preborn individual has a right to life. Imagine applying the same concept to an astronaut on a spacewalk, dependent on the mothership or the capsule for oxygen. It would be absurd to suggest that she is not a human being and doesn't have the right to life because of her inability to survive without her connection to the space capsule. But let's, for the sake of discussion, pretend that the concept of viability used in this bill has some moral underpinnings. Would the bill actually protect viable preborn human beings? The answer is no, because the act would prohibit interference in abortions after fetal viability for health reasons, which are undefined in the act. All an abortionist would need to do is to apply an expansive definition, such as that of the World Health Organization, which includes even social health, and you have late-term abortion on demand. And if there was sincere interest in protecting viable preborn babies, why on earth does it strike down the quick child law? The U.S. Supreme Court has subsequently upheld a partial birth abortion law on the federal level. If there was interest in protecting viable preborn babies, why, instead of striking the existing partial birth abortion language, didn't the sponsors take the opportunity to ban this gruesome late-term procedure, taking into account the language of the upheld federal law? Instead of just striking the language, why not replace it with the language that will pass muster? The act should be renamed the Late-Term Abortion Protection Act. Now, I wonder if the sponsors of the other bill got a little squeamish. Their bill doesn't strike the quick law, but modifies it. They don't strike the partial birth abortion language either, but they too fail to replace it with language that has been upheld by the U.S. Supreme Court. And the health exception, the one which would allow late-term on demand abortions on demand, is in their bill as well. So it too should be renamed the Late-Term Abortion Act. I close with the words of the late Dr. Henry Armitage, who opposed abortion not only because it was the taking of human life. He said, "I oppose abortion also because I believe that in the sophisticated barbarism of a nation destroying its offspring can be sensed the stirrings of despair in a people who are lost and disorientated in a disputative, speculative, innovative wilderness. I oppose abortion because it is fullness emptied, innocence defiled, song unfinished, beauty discarded, dream cloven, hope unsprung. It is the deer hanged by the neck besides the house of man. It is the razor against the throat of the dove at the window." Thank you very much.